You say one instance is too many.
Correct.
So let's talk about how many instances. How many times in 2020, let's just pick a year. How many times in 2020 did individuals reach out to MindGeek and say, I want content taken down because I did not consent to that content being put up?
So we are preparing a transparency report that will be published very soon to close the 2020 year, which
so
will
let's
have
pick
all this data.
2019 then. How many in 2019?
From the top of my head, David, I don't know if you know the number from the top of your head.
No, at the top of my head, I don't have the number, and I apologize.
So you've come here today. Yeah, it's a worthwhile apology. Although I would expect when I asked you what you would say to victims, I would have expected an apology there too. But at a minimum, coming prepared today, you would have thought you would have received that question. So you don't know sitting here today how many in 2017, 2018, 2019, how many times people reached out to you. You obviously don't have a record of Serena, so you maybe weren't keeping records 5 years ago. But you don't have any clue sitting here today how many times people reached out in 2018, 2019.
No, I respectfully disagree. I actually think we do have all those facts. I just don't have all the facts with me.
At a public hearing with members of parliament. Okay, so do provide those facts to this committee at the earliest opportunity. That's not an answer to my question, Mr. Antoon. I said, do you think these people would have been victimized if you'd had December 2020 changes in place earlier?
We can always improve and we can always do better.
I think that's a no.
Obligated. So my last case of Rose Kalemba and her torture, the videos were listed as teen crying and getting slapped around, teen getting destroyed, passed out teen. Now your moderators viewed this because you told us that every video was viewed. So you viewed this. So wouldn't you think that someone in your organization would have said a video of the torture of a 14-year-old girl would be in contravention of section 163-3 of the child pornography law, which
have you or your organization ever apologized to any of these children or women that have been exploited on your site?
We definitely have intense remorse for anyone that went through any heinous crimes. We don't want it to be any part of our corporation. We're extremely upset that people misuse our platform.
Have you apologized to anybody?
In any instance where we felt we were doing wrongdoing, we 100% would. But as an individual,
very proud that we built a product that gets 170 million people a day, 4 million Canadians, 30% of them women, a day. Don't you believe that those 4 million Canadians coming every day to our site, if they see something so heinous and criminal like that, wouldn't they be calling the police? Wouldn't the police lines and the RCMP would be non-stop ringing? MindGeek, myself and David are Canadians, residents of Montreal. We are minority shareholders of the company. The majority shareholder, owning over 50% of the company, is a European national residing outside of Canada. The structure of the company has been European for 10 years.
Who is the European national?
His name is Bernd Bergmeyer, and he owns over 50%.
You claim that a MindGeek employee visually inspects each and every piece of content before it is uploaded. You say that MindGeek employs 1,800 people. According to your own report, 2.8 hours worth of content is uploaded every minute to your site, which means over 160 hours are uploaded in 1 hour. And over the course of each of your 1,800 employees, standard 7.5 hour shift, 1,260 hours of content is uploaded. How is that possible that even if every employee was dedicated to content moderation, that they would be able to review 1,260 hours worth of content?
Thank you for the question. I agree. In pure linear math, it does seem an impossible task to do, or an impossible task to do efficiently.
So I would like to start asking the three gentlemen in front of us today. You're all quite successful. How much do you make? How much do you make each, Mr. Antoon, Mr. Tassillo, and Mr. Urman, sorry.
I'm sorry, you want me to tell the panel how much I make?
Yeah. What's your salary? What's your income last year?
Well, obviously this is a very private matter that I would not like to share with the committee.
How much worldwide gross profit did your company make last year, and how much the year prior? That's public knowledge. You can.
I don't have exact numbers, but
you don't know how much your company made last year. Seriously,
I don't. I said I don't have exact numbers, and I don't want to.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. I'm very pleased to hear you talk about how one of these horrific child abuse videos is too many. how you share our concern. But in October 2020, Pornhub was asked by a respected Canadian journalist about the allegations of child pornography on your site. And Pornhub's position was that they were, quote, conspiracy theories. That was repeated again, I believe, in December. And then it was when MasterCard and Visa threatened to pull out their content, and you had to flush 80%, or their support, and you had to flush 80% of your content, that we start to see these changes. So to say that this was conspiracy theory, I think, is a real disrespect for the families who've gone through this, because your link searches before the changes included 13-year-old, 12-year-old, multiple variations of middle school, and in Canada, middle school is grades 7 to 9, assault, drugs, exploited black teen, drug teen, runaway teen, homeless teen, abused teen, teen destroyed, teen manipulated, stolen teen sex tape, crying teen. So each of these videos would have been viewed by your team of experts and given the flag to go ahead.
Right now.
So why would you remove these 9 to 10 million videos if it was just conspiracy and untrue that there was illegal content on your site?
Once again, I go back to what I told the committee before. This content was suspended. It hasn't been deleted. So if there is anything, law enforcement is still able to ask for any piece of information on any one of those pieces of content. And I think it goes back to what we've been doing since the beginning as a company. We've always made every attempt to be the front runners, the leaders in how social media platforms can work. And this was just one more step in our evolution.
And the issue that we're talking about here is criminal behavior, the criminal code, your obligations to protect people, and your complete disregard for an accusation raised in one of Canada's most respected newspapers. You didn't even bother to read it. So when you come in here and tell us how much you care about the victims, it strikes me, Mr. Antoon, that you show a staggering level of recklessness that's just been made apparent here. We had asked you about Ms. Flights. She blew your business model apart. You've had 3 months to investigate this, and you showed up at our committee and said, sorry, we haven't found anything. You made her give you her pictures over. You made her give ID. You dragged this child out and destroyed her life. And then you showed up at our committee after you had to flush 80% of your content down the toilet because it was either non-consensual or possible criminal behavior. And you shrug and you're asked about your own staff, whose job it is to protect people, and you didn't bother to know what those allegations were. I think, sir, you are extremely negligent, and we're talking about possible criminal acts here.